Oh, you got it now. All right, welcome back, our freaks and geeks, to another video, another discussion video. And today we're going to be discussing the state of DC. And I want to ask Marcus, how do you feel about DC's track record from like beginning of the DCEU to current?
So, question.
Yeah. What's your question?
How far back are we going? Are we going from like the 80s, the late 70s, 80s? We going from the 90s? Or are we just starting from like the Zack Snyder on down?
Let's start Zack Snyder. But if you do have any things you had a problem with in the past that, you can definitely mention them too. But like more or less
Well,
the Snyderverse.
it's only one thing I had a problem with in the past, and I think we both know what it is. It's a little old Batman movie that we don't have to talk about.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that. No.
Yeah, but other than that, Snyderverse, man. So the reason why we've gotten to this point in time with a podcast like this, and we're talking about this, is because DC had a whole plan to do this like Justice League team up and have all these stories branch off from the movie with the characters, and they dropped the ball like really bad with the Snyderverse thing, and then the whole debacle with him leaving the project. Then he had a version, released the Snyderverse, all of that hoopla. It got to where they just had to totally rehash everything and just start over. But to answer your question, with the Snyderverse, it was interesting because it had a lot of promise with certain characters, but the whole idea was done about weird. I felt the way they brought Batman into the world was, displacing. Then, especially with Wonder Woman popping up, like how the hell does that happen? But then it's well, we'll give her a solo movie, and this is why she's here because she's been around and whatever. But I will say that the two gems out of the whole thing, the three gems out of the whole Snyderverse time is Henry Cavill is Superman.
Yes, agreed.
Ben Affleck is Batman, and Ray Fisher is Cyborg. And they nerfed Cyborg when they released the original Justice League. I think it was Josh? No, Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon. It was Josh Whedon and Snyder like combined because you could tell the elements of like hopefulness that you are. Yeah,
it was so weird, man.
Hopeful in moments where like Super Marvel, like hopeful, like you could tell that transition, and then it will go straight like Snyder, like dark elements. But so
So
yeah, so
I think those were the three bright moments. To be honest, all the villains were very forgetful.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Zod, but he still didn't feel like he didn't oppose like a major threat. No. Almost, he just was like, "Yeah, I'm the bad guy because I've always been the bad guy to Superman." You know what I'm saying? And I can't forget Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie of Harley Quinn. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And Will Smith is Deadshot.
And Idris Elba as
that's James Gunn.
Remember? Oh yeah, but isn't it technically part of the DC?
It's part of the Snyderverse, yeah. But it was James Gunn.
Okay.
And how can we forget? Because she's so freaking good that she made it over into the new DCU.
What's her name?
Viola Davis.
Yeah, the Amanda Waller. Yeah,
that's probably the best Amanda Waller like casting.
That's the best casting. Out of all of them. I agree.
Like, she's so good. I can watch her play Amanda Waller till she's 90, bro. That's how good.
I agree. And then they'd bring in a Batman Beyond storyline because then you know how about that.
Man, bro.
You know what I mean?
It's funny. I'm save that. I got something for you later. Save that. Awesome. I was thinking before the podcast. I was thinking about that. So yeah, save that thought.
Okay, Marcus. So I think what we're getting from your gripes with the original DCU is just they like didn't do solo movies first and then they like put them in between. Like they had Wonder Woman show up earlier than her solo movie. So do you think if they would have done like a Marvel approach, like just give how they did it before current Marvel, where they did like Iron Man, Thor, and this, that, the other, would it be a better transition?
Yeah, I think the Snyderverse should have started with Batman. And the reason I say that, not to like mimic Marvel with Iron Man, but it's
Yeah.
because when we met him in Batman v Superman, he was already established. Like
Yeah.
he had been around for a minute. So I feel like that first movie should have been um the death in the family storyline.
Yeah.
That way we would have got a seasoned Batman. We don't have to get the origin story again. We see what made him take that turn, like where he's more dark and he deserted everything. You could have gave us some good villains, a better Joker. Because I feel like that's why the Joker wasn't as good either, because the Batman movie didn't come first. It was like sandwiched in between everything. So
Yeah.
it was like it was weird because like the Joker came first and then the Batman, and it was like I don't know. It
Yeah.
was no, it was the Batman first, then that Joker. We don't even have to talk about that. But
Yeah. I think. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say going back to what you asked. Um, yeah, it should have been that. It should have been a Batman movie first. Death in the
Yeah.
Family should have came first. Then after you do Death in the Family, you go and you show like you ended with an end credit scene, like with the files or something, whatever. Then we do the Wonder Woman movie.
Okay.
Cause I think Kal-El, like Clark, should have been like the third movie. Because to be honest with Superman, he can hold his own in a movie, but he's not like the anchor of the team. It's always Batman has always been the anchor of the Justice League.
Agreed.
So you could either do it, you can flip flop it. You could either go Wonder Woman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and it would have worked both ways. Because then once the reason I say Wonder Woman because that'll give you time to give like a time jump to Superman, and then that'll
Okay.
explain. Then now you can have Batman v Superman because we know why Bruce is like so grumpy and upset about stuff and so overprotective because the losses he took. So you
Mm-hmm.
do that, and then just like Marvel did, I think you either give Aquaman or Flash, Cyborg, at least two of those characters a movie,
Yeah.
and then you set the Justice League movie. Really should only had. I'll say this: you should only had to introduce Cyborg in the Flash. I think Aquaman could have had his own movie first before the Justice League
I
because
agree.
he's such a big character, and Jason Momoa is like his character, just his personality itself. He could have
Yeah.
carried the movie. So I think that's how it should have went and led up to the Justice League instead of trying to put everything. It was Superman, B v Superman, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman, Justice League. I was like,
Yeah.
dang.
And Doomsday.
Yeah, and then you
And
bring Doomsday,
Doomsday.
and that's
And Lex Luthor Jr.
that's what I think they messed up, and they took that away from Henry Cavill that he didn't get his official own sequel. That shouldn't have been a Batman versus Superman movie.
No.
That should have been Superman 2. And I feel like we should have got more about like Lex and
Yeah.
understanding what that was about instead of just giving us Doomsday in the like stupidest way.
That was so
Slide his
dumb.
body and turn him into to
You're
Doomsday when
like,
Doomsday came from was an alien from outer space that came to Earth and wreaked havoc
yeah.
on Superman. I don't know. Like it was some questionable decisions that happened in the Snyderverse. But that's why we're
Yeah.
here because all of that is behind us. But what you got to say about it, D?
Okay, so I have a point at least that I can remember about the death of the family storyline. I feel like the Snyderverse tried to do like the Lost thing with like him losing like a Robin and have Joker be
Mm-hmm.
responsible. Because remember that like casing? It was like yeah, and so they tried to cheese it in there and get that going. But I feel like they didn't really. I think DC's biggest problem is when it comes to some of their casting, like when they casted Lex Luthor, that was a bad
Just
casting.
I
He's
would
just
have
not that. Go ahead.
I would have even been okay if they would have just said that was like Junior or something.
I think they did after the fact. I think they like came
Yeah.
in and said it was like Junior. That's why like people are like, oh no, it's Junior. I'm like, but still, like, I feel like
He
he could have been
wasn't.
a different character.
Yeah. That
Honestly,
doesn't scream licks.
he screams like Riddler or something like that. Like
Yeah, he would have
yeah.
been a good Riddler. Yeah.
They just didn't cast him right. That's what happened with him. And then I agree with you on the Doomsday thing. Doomsday should have been in not it should have been in his own movie because you had so much going on there. And then the Martha line, we don't need to talk about the Martha line.
That's gonna hunt them forever. No matter how good they do, like down the line, that Martha line is gonna hunt them for a long time.
Forever. And I think a lot of things went wrong with that movie, but I think they just dug themselves in further. They didn't try to learn from everything. I think they did good with Aquaman. I think Aquaman was a solid movie. And I think the first Wonder Woman was a solid movie. But their sequels were not great.
You know what? I don't like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I know. Because she's not an interesting character to you.
It ain't even that. It's the person that played her.
Oh, you don't like Gal Gadot. You're not a Gal Gadot fan. And before Wonder Woman and like the Fast and the Furious series, I didn't know nothing about her. So
it is what it is.
It is what it is. But I think, honestly, when it comes to I think the DCU is what their biggest problem is they were trying to compete with Marvel head to head on the same kind of tone.
And it's Marvel. By that time, Marvel had already had like 20 movies out. So they
were
built
gone.
it up. They built it up, and it was like DC. Y'all only like y'all third film. You only had Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, and Batman v Superman. Those were the three films you had before you did Justice League.
And I'm like, what are y'all doing?
So now, to save your ass, you want to give us a terrible Flashpoint movie, basically with the Flash. Yeah.
Listen, there was some good points in that, but the story was all over the place. And the main villain being him, if it was if we were in a different space of creatively going, it would have been better. Like if you would have built it up or you'd have more movies to establish Flash, it would have been better. But you can't just throw people into Flashpoint and not really be a Flashpoint movie.
And it was like, I was okay. Don't get me wrong. I was okay with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
That man that I want to see. What's our boy from The Walking Dead who played Bruce's dad? He actually did play.
I forget his name, but Thomas Wayne. I wanted to see. What's his name? He plays. What's his name on The Walking Dead? Is it
Negan?
Negan. He plays Negan on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But actor.
Man, I would have loved to see him be Batman in that movie. Like.
Oh yeah, that would have been so
Thomas
cool.
Wayne Batman, yeah,
that would have been so cool.
But it was still cool to see Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
I guess
it was, and I think one of the worst superhero casting was casting Ezra Miller as Flash or Barry Allen Flash.
Yeah,
I think that was the worst casting they've done.
Yeah, because I was like, it's so many other people out there that could play that role and do it really well. Like. They tried to match him. They tried to make him like the Spider-Man, like the young, quirky, jokey, nerdy type. And I was like, bro, for one, we ain't gonna talk about him outside of acting.
Yeah, let's put that aside.
Yeah, but as far as the character, like it was so like,
it was not great. Listen, he's a Wally or Barry or Wally or Bart for character. Yeah. You should have casted him as Wally or Bart, and we'd have been fine. Because Barry is not that guy. When has he ever been that guy?
Yeah, like he might crack a joke, but he ain't like no laughing, goofy ass dude. So.
Yeah, and his social anxiety is not that bad.
Nah, not bad at all.
Yeah, like I'm a Flash fan, and that movie, like that casting has been so annoying to me, and those movies have been so annoying to me.
And like you said, all the castings were good except for him and Gal Gadot. I'm sorry.
I know you put it out there. You do, and I don't think it's the worst. I don't think her casting is
No, she's not
horrible.
the worst. She's not the
Yeah,
worst. But because, like you said, I like the first Wonder Woman. That was
yeah.
actually it was a decent film.
It was DC. The DCU's like swing back up. Like they had been taking the movies have been like decreasing or not really performing box office wise, or like fans weren't really liking them. And then Wonder Woman came out, and everybody was like, "This is good. DCU's
Mhm.
back."
So,
So
well, so with that, it's weird because we eased into this James Gunn universe,
yeah,
but it was like so we get the Suicide Squad movie, which we reviewed like when it came out. We did a review on it.
I
I
think we
think.
did a review. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did a review, and we talked about like how James Gunn brought his style, his way of music and movies, his
Mm-hmm.
characters, the jokes, and like he makes it over the top, but not enough to take you out of the story, and it works.
Exactly. Mm.
So it's basically like DC was like, I think this is our guy,
I
you
think
know,
this is our savior.
because he brought back a movie that was like in the mud.
Man, that first Suicide Squad was rough. Listen, the Joker aside, the cast was bad. Like Marco Robbie
Yeah,
was good, but like everyone else is, they weren't around long enough for us to really care about them.
I really wish James Gunn could find a way to bring Will Smith back. His Deadshot,
I feel like he will. I feel like he
because
can.
I like Deadshot.
That shot was cool.
Yeah, that was a good Will Smith role because I was shocked when they cast him and it's
Yeah,
like Will Smith as Deadshot. I was like, Will Smith doing like a comic book. I know he did Hancock and like Men in Black, but like doing a like comic book role like that, I was like, wow, that was cool. But
that was really cool.
getting the getting like back to how I was trying to like how we kind of segueing into this.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much when James Gunn hit a home run with the Suicide Squad, he became like the Kevin Feige for the DC,
Yeah,
and he basically was like, okay, Snyder, so you won't be over there crying about your movies. We're gonna let you finish your movies. We're gonna release them, but those stories are getting reset.
yeah.
So it was the second Aquaman movie.
They didn't even promote that movie. Like
Yeah.
I think
Oh man.
I think they promoted it like once or twice that I saw.
I barely saw a commercial or trailer for that. Even when I went to the movies. So it was Aquaman. We just talked about the Flash,
Was it Wonder Woman 2?
Wonder Woman 2,
Yeah.
Suicide Squad,
That's more or
and
less James Gunn. We're not
yeah,
gonna let
James
Snyder
Gunn.
touch that
But
one.
the one that was good, and I'm glad he said that he's keeping him and he's gonna use him in his universe is Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle was unexpectedly good. I did
Yeah.
not expect it to be that good. It was lighthearted. It felt like the character. I like how they nodded back to the original Blue Beetle with his tech, and I love how his tech was like old, like '80s video game stuff, like the gaming glove they had from Nintendo. That
Yeah.
was like how he did his shield. It ended on a good note with that being the last.
Wait, I forgot. There's one more. We forgot about Shazam. No, not Shazam. But
It,
yeah, Shazam. But
you know why we forgot about it?
what is it called? Black Adam.
Black
That's
Adam.
right. There it is.
You
I was
know
trying
why
to
we
think of
forgot about it? Because it was terrible. That's why. Else,
I
you
remembered
talking
it.
about bad?
Hey, they a full movie to tease to a Superman v Black Adam at the end.
That's never gonna happen. Oh man, they should have never made that movie, bro.
And then what was it? What's the name of
The
Hawkman?
Rock.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
Hodges, man, and I like that as Hawk
yeah,
Man, bro. That was a waste
yeah.
of an actor.
Because
'Cause-
and what's the name of Doctor Fate was a waste. Oh my
oh,
God,
Pierce
perfect.
Brosnan.
Yeah, that's a
Pierce
perfect
Brosnan was
casting.
perfect,
Perfect.
bro.
Ah,
Oh my! I was so mad because honestly, I said I wasn't gonna watch it, but I was like,
yeah,
man, I just gotta see him do Doctor Fate because even if the movie sucks, like when he hit the from Injustice, I said,
yeah.
ooh, boy says,
He went
man, this
off.
movie sucks. Bro, it was basically like The Rock playing Black Adam.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he's playing dress up because Black Adam is like a badass, bro.
Mm.
And then he's Egyptian. We won't even get into that. But yeah, so damn, they did make those.
Yeah, I was like, you forgot about him, but I was like, let me put him out there because if we're gonna talk about the Snyderverse, we got to talk about the entire Snyderverse, all the bad ones. And I will say, Black Adam was probably one of my least favorites of the Snyderverse
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it goes. Black Adam, Suicide Squad.
First Suicide
one.
Squad. Yeah.
The first one.
No, first Suicide Squad, then Black Adam.
Yeah, first Suicide Squad, Black Adam,
then Adam. Yeah.
The two Shazam films. Because
Yeah.
I just didn't feel it. It was okay.
Good. I like the casting for Shazam, though. I like the actor who played him. He did a great job. Yeah.
Like we said, the cast, a lot of the castings were good. It was the stories. They were they was doing too much, bro.
They were trying to play catch up with the MCU, and I'm like, slow down, man. You restarted the universe, 3 times now? Slow down. Don't take it too crazy. And that's why, like, when we talk about the Gunverse, which you're about to, that's why James Gunn has the best chance of taking over because Marvel is not hooking it up.
And the thing about James Gunn is he's a fan.
Yep.
All of this material. And before we get right into it, I just have to take a side note that we do get to keep the Joker movies, the Batman. I don't care about Teen Titans Go, but it was something else. The Penguin Show, like all of that is gonna be like Elseworlds. So I'm interested about that because I'm like, is he gonna do more in that with Elseworlds? Have other movies on that realm
that are in that area?
What's already, or is it just what's already out?
I feel like he's gonna touch Elseworld a little bit more. I feel like that's not gonna be something that's just gonna be like 3-4 movies and it'll be done.
I feel like he has that faction, like that area for like people, like when Christopher Nolan did his thing and it wasn't part of the main movies. I think it's gonna be more so for, let's just say, just to throw a name out, like Ryan Coogler wanted to do a Black Manta film or something. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, okay, yeah, we'll just put it in the Elseworld. Yeah, so I think that's what he'll say that for, which will be very smart because it gives a chance for like certain different directors and fans and writers to play in the sandbox.
Question. I agree with that, but I got a question. You sparked the question for me. So, being that he's doing Elseworld over here, a main storyline here, are you going to, or do you want DC or James Gunn or the Gunverse to do multiverse at all? Do you want the multiverse? Do you want to see Nolan's Batman? What's his name? I forget the person.
Matt Reeves.
Not Matt. Well, Matt, but
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, but the one for the Nolanverse. I forget they slipped my mind. Thank you. I knew it was Christian Sutton. I was like, there you go. Do you want to see that Batman again in the future thing? You know how they did with the Deadpool movie. Spoiler, but you know how they did all the cameos. You just want to keep it strictly one verse.
Because he don't fit. He don't fit in what James Gunn is about to have a very comic book like this universe where it's gonna be a lot of the colors are gonna be there. You know, the outfits, the worlds, the brightness. The fact that from the set photos we see with the Superman movie with the trunks and then he has the S on the back of his cape, like it's real. He's sticking to those like comic book roots, even with Mr. Terrific's costume. And then people complaining about Guy Gardner and Hot Girl, but if you look at the outfits, I think it's like part of a team that they're working with Mr. Terrific. So it's like it's a uniform. Don't get your panties in a bunch.
Right? Not yet. Not until we. Like I said, I always say, wait till a trailer comes out before you start getting all mad about it.
They set photos, like
it's nothing like in stone yet. Like things change behind the sets and stuff like that. So I don't know because
I don't think we need the multiverse.
I agree.
Until we get everything established first.
I think that they should do the Marvel first, the Infinity War approach, like this. a universe established and then
because
tap into that.
because honestly, I think DC does pretty good with their multiverse
I think
stuff.
so. Honestly,
Like
I
like how they tell the Earths and stuff and what's on this Earth and that Earth, and it's they don't really like intertwine with each other. As we got a multiverse hopper or anything, it's just like these worlds exist on their own axis.
yep. And the only time they're connected is when Flash runs from,
Yeah,
or he's
and they
yeah,
have to have because
uh,
I think if they do it, it's gonna be Infinite Crisis.
yeah.
And the fact that we're getting that Superwoman movie where it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like that version of her, that's Clark's. We're gonna have her and Clark in the same universe. I
Which is
think we'll
cool.
get that. I think they're gonna actually do that Crisis on Infinite Earths because it's famous for her being the one that dies in that storyline.
Yeah.
I think, and that kind
So
of resets the whole comic book universe or something.
universe and stuff like that. That would be a good way to do the whole bring in a new team in after they've done like this burst for a while. What they did with MCU, where they like swap people out. But I feel like DC has a way of doing, could have a better way of doing it. If they do the Justice League right, they can swap out members all day. Because Justice
Yeah.
League is, and I think the Avengers are that too. But like Justice League has, a lot of members that switch out interchangeably all the time.
The fact that they have like different like versions of the Justice League. You got Justice League Dark, which is the team led
Mm-hmm.
by Batman. The Justice Society, which is like the Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Hawk Girl and all them, Hawkman. And then it's another one. It's another
Yeah,
Justice League team. I can't remember. But it's 3 or 4 different versions.
yeah.
So,
Would you want
I
to?
think
Oh, go
what?
ahead. Finish your thought. I got a question.
No,
Correct question.
go ahead.
Would you want to see if they do a Justice League Dark? Would you want to see a Constantine, the Tana like combo on the team, or would you want to get a whole fresh new lineup?
Hell yeah. Give me Zatanna and Constantine.
Yeah, and
Hell yeah.
we gotta recast that guy who played him in the TV show because he crushed it the season from
Yeah.
that short-lived season one. I think the
He
best thing that
was
the CW did was bringing him as the main Constantine. I think that's the
yeah.
best thing the
He was
they
good.
did.
Oh yeah, he was good. He was good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would love to see Zatanna and Constantine and then bring that Justice League Dark story.
I agree.
Batman.
I think. Would you want to see any Batman Beyond or stuff like future stuff have that storyline? Or ooh,
I told you, D, you gotta hold that. You gotta
I'm
hold that
sorry.
Batman Beyond.
I'm sorry. I'm tripping
I'm
right now.
trying to save it for the end, man. Y'all see
Okay,
he keep getting on that
I
Batman
keep.
Beyond
I,
because we
hey,
big fans.
we
So
big fans
I
because
understand.
I'm already thinking about. Would you? Oh, better yet, would you want to see a Static Project now that James Gunn's in charge?
But and I wrote this down in my notes. It's
Okay.
crazy because I asked this question, right? And I was saying, is it any animated shows that you would want to see get the X-Men 97 treatment? And that was at the top of my list. Like a continuation of what was left off.
I
I think
agree.
that show, the Batman, like the one from like 2000s,
Okay. Teen
Justice League,
Titans.
Teen Titans, of course Teen Titans.
Would you
Yes.
want to see a live action Teen Titans movie, or do you want to just leave it alone? Or I'm sorry, or just leave it animated.
I
Would
think
you
we're
want to?
gonna get it
Yeah.
because the Batman movie that they're gonna do is introducing Robin.
Okay.
So I think it's destined to happen.
Which
But
Robin would you want on the team?
I would say start with Damien. And I already
Okay.
have Tim
Ooh.
Jason and
Okay.
Dick already like their other counterpart. Because
Okay. You throw it a.
we don't need the whole Robin's growing up thing. Just already have them there and let Damien be there. And then we'll
I
have a
like
whole
that.
have a whole team. Starfire can be developed already
So you
into
could already
her.
be with Dick and whatever like that. You could be with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
way,
Fresh team.
it'll bring a different dynamic because Damien don't like to follow rules and shit. So
Would you want to see?
it'll
Go ahead. Finish
what I
your
want to
thought.
see what.
Would
Oh,
you
I
want
was
to see?
gonna say it'll be interesting. It'll
Okay,
be
a grown-up Raven or a Raven who's a part of the team? Because that's what they've done in the recent years. They made Raven like part of the Teen Titans team with
I,
Damien.
I think I'm fine with her being around Damien's age because
Okay.
Raven is one of those characters where she's gonna be powerful whether she's 57. She's gonna pretty much have the same kind of effect as part of the team. Now, what you can do if you make her older is have her to where like she's abandoned the team and she don't mess with nobody, but they need her or something. But
Hmm.
I think it would work better if she was around Damon's age because she worked so good with that team because that's how she learns how to like trust people because she
Yeah.
was part of that team. So I think it would be cool to keep her story and her being on the team with Damien. Yeah.
Because uh, part of me wants Beast Boy to be a part of the team, but part of me understands I'm not going to get that. Because I like Beast Boy is my guy.
Yeah.
But and
Or
Cyborg
Dark.
for sure is not going to be on the team. They ain't gonna put Cyborg's going to be out there, a full grown adult or something like that. That's
Oh
fine.
yeah, Cyborg gonna be on the Justice League. You already
Yeah,
know
you
that.
already know you're gonna be making what motherboards and boom tubes and all that stuff. So I don't know what kind of team we're gonna get. The Teen Titans team we're gonna get, like what the roster's gonna be. But I definitely would like a Kid Flash. Like I feel like
Oh
a Kid
yeah,
Flash on a team would be nice.
that's why it's so important that what they do. I like how he's starting it out, and
Hmm.
he's carefully like picking stories and situations to set up things. Because I was looking at the little lineup he had, and a lot of it is he basing a lot of stuff off of actual like comic book stories, like great stuff, like the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. He said
Yeah.
that's literally based off of the actual comic book. It's gonna be similar to that. And then I think another one was Paradise Lost. That's gonna be like about the
Oh yeah.
Amazons. Just looking at it, I could just check off just what's coming up because I was looking, I was like, man, that's crazy. So the first chapter is gods and monsters, right?
Yeah.
So it's film. It's gonna be a collation of like films and series. So of course you're gonna have Superman, and that's gonna be the first, like the one to kick off everything, which is
Hmm.
cool because, like I said, with Snyder, he's using this Superman as an anchor, but it's like a early on. He's like what Superman is in the comics. He based it on like that. Like I think it was like was it Superman Year One, and then it's the other one.
Mm.
What's the one where he's? I can't remember the one, but he like sitting on the building on the comic book cover. You know what I'm talking about,
I
dude?
know what point you're talking about, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't never remember the name of that one. All Star Superman. I think
All
that's what it
Star,
is.
okay. All Star Superman, but yeah, Superman's good, and it's not hard to make a good Superman movie. It's really not.
It's not.
You don't really have
It's
to do too much for it, you know.
you don't. And I like the fact that we getting Lex in the first movie, and it's actually gonna be a grown man. Like serious. Like I seen like I think it's Nicholas Holt who playing him, the guy who
Okay.
played Beast in First
Oh,
Class.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's who's playing him. So I love the cast for that movie and everything. I'm just gonna run through it real quick, then we'll come back. Creature Commandos. I think that's the animated series that he dropped the trailer for.
Okay.
Rick Flag Senior, Waller. That's gonna be a live action series, so we're gonna get to see Viola come back.
Mhm.
Peacemaker season 2. So I heard that was pretty good. Paradise Lost, like we just talked about, the Amazons. That's a live action series. But my favorite one so far, and I don't know anything about it, is the Lanterns because they say it's gonna be like a detective style like story.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
like
and it's
that.
gonna have Hal and John Stewart in it, so that's gonna be interesting. Um,
Hey, anytime John Stewart's in something,
Sign me up. Booster Gold, which is cool. I think that we're getting
yeah.
Booster Gold this early on, which is that's interesting. I wonder what he's
Oh,
gonna do with that.
that's because you can set up a lot of things from Booster Gold, being from the future and stuff like that. You can set up a
Mm-hmm.
lot of future events, or
Mm-hmm.
have them come back for and talk about future points that are
Mm-hmm.
going to happen and stuff. That's so
Yeah.
much stuff you can do with him. It's going to be great. How do you feel about there being TV shows that are probably going to be attached to the movies, like in this universe? Do you feel like that's too
I think
much?
I think in that case it's gonna work
Okay.
because I think everything is gonna be like going into the next movie. I feel like whatever the series is leading up to the next movie. Because it's
Okay.
like, okay, because I'm looking at it and it's all these series, and then you got Batman Brave and the Bold, The Authority, Supergirl, and Swamp Thing, which are all films.
Swamp Thing's
So
gonna go off though. That movie's about to go
exactly,
off.
exactly. So I feel like the shows are just gonna be like that thing is okay. This is what's going on over here. You know why this is going on over here. So if you see this character, let's just say in Brave and the Bold, Amanda Waller pop up and references the Suicide Squad, any of those characters, and it's yeah, we already knew Amanda Waller was doing this because the Waller show came out during the time before the movie came out. So I think the way James Gunn tells stories and sets things up, and the way he did so good with Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm not more so worried about the shows because we're already knowing that's what we're gonna get. It's not like
Okay.
Marvel. It's not Marvel where we got all the movies first, and then they started doing shows. We already know from the get go we're gonna get shows and movies, so
Okay.
we're gonna be ready for it. It's not like okay, here's 10 movies. Oh, and now this is a show to tie in, or now we're gonna go to a movie about a character who's been in like 10 movies. I think it's gonna work in that sense that we already know what we're getting from the get go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I think what's what's the problem now with the two I guess comic book verses is organization. I feel like if we knew what we're gonna get involved with, like you said, then it wouldn't be such a big ask, you know? And also the stuff that they're offering are things that we want to see. They're titled and titled a certain way, and their descriptions give us something that we actually want to see. A lot of the stuff we're getting from the shows that we're getting from Marvel, it's like stuff that we just randomly hear about. And we're like, oh, okay, this is what
Yeah,
happened,
like
you know?
here's the Secret Invasion storyline. Remember those scrolls from Captain Marvel? Here's this story.
Right? It just has to be organized a little bit better. And also, I think they need to make things that work better with the storyline. That they don't feel like they're just like throwing them out willy
Yeah,
nilly. Oh yeah, we have scrolls this one. Let's make a show about it.
yeah. I like how he's calling it like chapter,
Hmm.
like it's a book because they're comic book movies. I love how he's like labeling it and like really taking his time to develop these projects and get it. Because the fact that we haven't got a Batman like casting yet, and they are by now, they would have said something about who's playing who. So they're taking time to look at who's who. Because regardless of whatever, we're gonna be excited about the Batman movie.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, because it's brave. It's called Batman Brave and Bold, and it's supposed to have a Robin. And
Oh yeah. Wait.
and that's
So okay, continue though. I'm thinking. I'm
I
getting my
think it, and
question.
I think the rumor is I don't know if it's confirmed or not. I think it might be is that it is Damien, and
Okay.
it's gonna play that storyline out with him and Damien. So that's why I'm like we might finally get
So
Nightwing.
which which Batman suit coloring would you want to see? Would you want to see just the all black and the gold, or would you want to see like a blue and
Uh,
gray, or which?
because we're getting this Superman suit, and I see what direction is going in. I think we should get that black with the gray
Okay,
and
yeah, yeah.
and I think
It's like
it was just
is
like
it?
a
Yeah,
regular bat and it had like a
mhm.
little gold trim around it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and a gold utility belt. I have not
Yes,
seen a gold utility belt since Michael Keaton.
they're afraid.
I
They're
want
afraid.
I yeah I want I think James is gonna do it because he did the trucks with
Yeah,
Superman.
with Superman.
So I think he's gonna do it,
Ooh.
and I'm all
And I
on board.
hope we get that. I hope we get that black and red and gray Damien suit from the comics, the newer one, like that. Like
Mm.
those.
Oh, that first suit he wore, yeah,
Yeah, that chef's kiss.
yeah,
I love that suit. And then we get Nightwing, maybe even a little bit of Jason Todd for me.
yeah. Red
For me.
Hood, Red Hood. I want to see Tim Drake have a new persona.
Isn't he
Robin?
He's
It's like
Red Robin.
Yeah, it's too on the nose. It's too on the nose.
When I
Like,
think Red Robin, I think of the restaurant chain.
Yeah, and then like his
I'm just
costume is
kidding.
almost like it's just Batman without the pointed
The
ears.
pointed ear. He's like a Robin.
Yeah. I don't know. I would like to see them switch that up and do something else. But
Yeah.
I think it's cool that it's going to be Damien because we will finally get Nightwing and all that, and we'll have Dick. And I want him to be in Bloodhaven. I don't want him to be in Gotham.
You know that we can only wish, man. We can only wish.
Yeah. I'm not gonna answer too much. I trust James Gunn though.
Do you want a solo Nightwing movie or a solo like Red Hood movie, or do you want it just to be like cameos?
I'm good with cameos, but I'm not gonna complain if they do a Red Hood movie.
I'm down.
I'm not gonna complain,
man. I wish they get my boy Soldier Boy from the boys to
bro.
play him.
I was just gonna ask you who do you want to play Batman?
That's the only person I'm really hoping for because he did such a great job.
Him. If it's not him,
yeah.
And they going for another like brute type. It's gotta be the dude. He was in the Titan show. Alan Richardson.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
So,
do you have any picks for Nightwing?
Man, I don't know. I don't know about Nightwing yet. I haven't thought of anybody.
Because I can't right now.
Yeah, I can't think because there's so many guys, so many young guys. He would have to be like a late 20s.
Yeah.
Like in his he would still got to like be in his 20s.
At most, 20s. Like early 30s, 30, like, at latest.
But definitely, I'm definitely down with that Batman you said. I'm definitely down. I even questioned when I was looking at the movies, like when they was talking about Paradise Lost, I was like, it would be dope if we got Nubia instead of Diana first.
Dope, yeah.
And then she's the one who trained Diana to be Wonder Woman, and we get that sister dynamic, and we could tell that story.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to see it. Like I said, I love to see all of it. That could set up so much. Like just if you're you don't have to really do much to set up the DCU universe. All you have to do is tell the stories and bring people in, and then eventually expand from those. It's not too hard. Like I feel like before the Gunverse, they were like trying to rack their brains on like how to make these characters come in without reading source material or like getting people who knew the stuff. So it's just good to get someone in here that I know. Like I said it off the podcast. I'm like, this is like DC's moment to take over.
Oh no, take over. Seriously, this is their moment.
I'll say if it doesn't happen now, it's not gonna happen. If it don't happen now,
this is literally their best chance, bro. Like they don't have any other opportunity after this. This is it.
Yeah,
I think, like I said, I think James is gonna do a good job at taking care of it. Because like I said with DC, the thing that they have that Marvel don't is they own all of their characters. They don't have to share Batman with MGM Studios or something, and he can only be in like 5 movies. Like they can do whatever they want with any of their characters.
Yep.
So this is your time to shine. Do you have fun with it too? Because that's another thing. You have to like. The way I see James Gunn is doing it, he's not taking it lightly or not doing it like in a disrespectful way, but he's having fun because I see he's trying to make it feel like you literally are opening the pages of the comic book and it's on the screen, which is what we want because especially now coming into this new age, because Marvel, they took almost 20 years to start doing it, like giving comic book accurate suits and stuff like that. So it's like James Gunn's now, I'm going to give it to you up front and submerge you in this world that you grew up knowing. So it'll be cool to see how he shift the tones from like Superman to Batman to the Green Lantern stuff to the Wonder Woman. Like I think he won't get too dark, but I think he'll keep it to a common ground, like in the comic books, because in the comic books it gets dark when it's certain characters, but they all hit a common ground. And I would love to see like the question pop up in something.
Yeah, that would
Because
be.
we
Maybe.
get
Sorry, go ahead.
we got a version of the question already in that Cape Crusade. I'm talking about the detective.
Yeah.
She's the female. She's the female question. But I would love to
Yeah.
see the question come up in either the Batman movie, the Green or the Green
I was gonna
Lantern.
say I was literally about to say he could show up in the Green
Yeah.
Lantern movie. That's what I was literally about to say. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because that would be perfect. If it's a detective story, who's better? Who better than the question? If not the question, probably like a Batman or like even like a Nightwing or someone who's in that detective area would show up in the Green Lantern project.
And I would love to see live action like Batman and how Jordan react to each other because like they don't like each other.
They don't like each other at all.
I got a question though.
Yeah.
Would you be okay if it's no Green Arrow or if they bring him in later on?
I'm perfectly fine. Like I think like with the CW and like I said, I think his name's Stefan. I forget his name, but the guy who played the Green Lantern in the CW, he did a good job with what he was given. He became the Bat Arrow or whatever and did a good job. But I need a break from Green Arrow. I really do. Like
that's how I feel. I'm like, bring him in
down the road, man. Bring him in like in a movie as a minor annoyance to Batman or something like that, because they're like both like rich or whatever. Bring him in as like a minor annoyance, and then we good because I'm tired of seeing the Green Arrow. CW burnt me out from the Green Arrow, like
man,
for real.
They drugged that show until it couldn't be drugged no more, bro.
They did so many things that I was just like Black Canary died 3 or 4 times in that show.
Yeah, I tried to get through 2 seasons of that show, and I was like, it's too much, bro.
When they brought Slade in, that was when I was like on it, but after that, it was a downhill for a minute.
Speaking of Slade, should they save him for the Teen Titans movie if they do one, or should he be like an end credit scene in the Batman movie? Because we deserve a live action Slade.
We do
on the big screen because we got cheated.
We got
with the whole Snyderverse thing, and we didn't get.
I think he should be a Teen Titans in the Teen Titans project.
So that would be a good first villain.
But you still can reveal him, and you can have Batman talking about bringing the team together, and then have Slade be like the person they're bringing the team together for. Because Batman just can't be bothered with him. I got Batman stuff over here. Have it set up, but I think so because there's so many different stories that he's a part of that are like Teen Titan oriented in some way. We like think about stuff with Terra and stuff like that.
Oh man!
Which they're gonna have to center a lot of that.
I don't think they're gonna do that live action. Nah, I don't think we're gonna get that.
When I found out Slade Wilson Slade Wilson in the comics is a gross person. He ruined Slade from the Teen Titans animated show for me. I can't go back and see that man as anything other than what he was.
Especially when they do that storyline with her.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, dude, they know what they really did?
Or the storyline with her and him being a part of the Raven storyline when like her dad came back, that stuff is ruined.
Yeah.
That stuff is ruined. It's a good show. Like I like Teen Titans. Teen Titans is like top 5 animated shows for sure. DC animated show for sure. But the Slade stuff did not age well.
Yeah. So I got a couple of. Okay. I got my big question for you, but this just going back to the Elseworlds.
Okay.
Are you excited about the Penguin show, and do you think it's smart to have that lead into the next movie? So when we get the movie, we haven't been on like a hiatus or something.
I think it's a good thing for, I wouldn't even say narrative, but what do you call that? Where they talk about all like the ground, they talk about like everything that happened in between the movies before them, like in the middle, like dialogue, heavy dialogue. Like it gets rid of all that heavy dialogue that they would have to explain between the 2 movies.
And I think it's gonna be cool to see a Penguin rise up
and stuff. Yeah, it's a good move. It's a smart move because it gets rid of a lot of the dialogue you have to do to explain why Penguins rose up these ranks or whatever like that, and you can save it for whoever the main villain is of the new Batman movie. So it's good story wise, and I think if you're going to do a sequel series, you should put a show in between that ties in better. Because I feel like a lot of shows in and not to harp on the MCU, but like they have a better track record of movies to shows right now. I think that their shows don't tie into their movies as well. Like they don't. And I think DC can learn from that and avoid it by doing this Batman Penguin movie and then Batman 2. I think, yeah, you agree?
And I'm getting happy because it leads into my next question.
Oh, okay.
So we've been talking about it all night. So the reason
Let's
why
go.
I asked that question first.
Okay.
Batman Beyond live action. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, do you think if we get it, it should do just like what we just was talking about? It should go film, TV show,
Sequel.
film. Yeah, sequel.
Yeah. Okay. So, sorry. Continue your point. I'm already getting
No.
the
I'm
question.
just going, and I'm gonna end it, and then I'm gonna give it to you because of the fact that it's one of those storylines where I think it should be an Elseworld, and it should just be like a beginning, middle, end, and then that's it, like the Nolan trilogy movies.
Okay. So just telling like not connected to anything, very grounded. You want to ground?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want a grounded Batman universe? Batman Beyond universe?
And I ask you this. It doesn't have to be grounded. It could be completely comic book accurate.
The only reason I asked is because you said Nolan and Nolan stuff.
No, I would say as far as it's not
like a trilogy.
Yeah, it's a trilogy. But with the show in between. So with that being said, this is gonna be the question that's gonna knock you out your chair. I said if they do it, because Michael Keaton is actually getting older now. Give us Ben Affleck back as Batman and have him play older Bruce, so we can send him off with just playing Batman one more time. Yeah. What do you think?
I think we should do that. I think if anything, I think Affleck deserves that because he did a really good job, especially in the Flashpoint movie, of being a good Batman. Like his stuff was good. So I think that for answer your first question, I think they should do, or I think the formula should be movie, show, and then another sequel movie. Because if you do it movie and nothing in between, you have to like do so much like groundwork to like set up.
It'll burn you out. Burn you out.
And then you have these crazy bad paced movies because you have to spend half the movie talking about what happened in between this movie and this movie. And I feel like Star Wars does a good job of with the crawl. Does a good job of saying, "Here's what happened in between.
This is what happened." Now jump your ass in the movie.
All right, we're good. I don't think DC can take the crawl from Star Wars, but I feel like if they're not going to do the crawl, then they have to do a series in between because it just works better story wise and narrative wise.
With me saying that, this is if we ever get it. If James Gunn somehow hears this or gets into the universe and he hears it in the thought bubbles,
let's go.
The first movie, I gotta have the beginning of it with Ben Affleck in the suit.
Let's go. Yes.
And it's the scene where he's fighting and he realized he gotta retire because he's getting older.
Yes.
And then for the Amanda Waller in that universe, I want our girl from the TVA.
Yes. Yeah. I know you're talking about. Yes.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't care who you cast as Terry, everybody else. That's all I want. Give me that.
Yeah, we're good.
And I'm happy.
Yeah, I agree. Because honestly, I don't really care about those either. As long as they're able to hit the notes and whatever, I'm good. Because I need to see a Batman Beyond suit that is comic book accurate. You can give him all the bells and whistles down the line because his tech is pretty good towards the end of his run. And I do want to see an adult Damian if you're going to do it. I need to see adult Damian as Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, whichever way you want to say it.
That would be dope.
Because in the books, that was a cool twist of plot. That was such a good twist. I remember reading that. And I was like, whoever did this, give them a raise because they done. And then, honestly, DC bring back the Batman Beyond run. please. And I need
Yeah,
to see my
give
boy
us that.
Blight. I need to see my boy Blight, or I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
happy. Not Professor whatever that dude is from the Suicide Squad TV
For
show.
the show.
Blight. I need Blight,
Yes.
man.
Give us. So I think that's another show that goes into that. Should it get the X-Men 97 animated shows?
Yeah.
Definitely that. We talked about we talked about a lot tonight.
We crushed it.
We covered a lot. Just as a closing, a last thing to say, two things, D. Are you excited about what's going on? And what is the thing you looking forward to, like the thing you're looking forward to the most? With what you know that's going to happen, other than what we want to happen? And do you believe in James Gunn, man?
Listen, first of all, I'll answer that last question first. Yes, I do believe James Gunn has it in his pocket because here's the thing: he's got not only Suicide Squad under his belt, but the entire Guardians of the Galaxy, and those are my favorite movies. So he can't do no wrong in my book, and especially from what I've seen. But I'm interested in that Swamp Thing because we have never gotten a Swamp Thing.
Never.
We have never gotten anything that was just like a live action Swamp Thing movie. So I'm hyped about that because I like Swamp Thing. I feel like we're gonna get some Poison Ivy in there or something. We might get a little Poison Ivy in that.
That'll
movie.
be dope.
I'm feeling. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to the Superman movie because I'm not a big Superman fan. I'm okay. I'm lukewarm to it. But he's not my favorite. But and Henry Cavill made me like Superman a lot more.
Like, yeah, definitely. So I'm interested to see what they do with it too.
And I'm interested to see who they play. They cast for the Batman. That's what
I'm very interested
in. And if they do a Flash movie, I'm excited about that. But
yes. If they do a Flash movie, I think we're gonna finally get a more accurate Barry.
I know we will.
And it's gonna be a lot color. The suit is gonna look better and everything. I think.
Yeah. So I'll reverse that and ask it back to you about every question you asked me. How are you feeling about everything?
Yes, I trust James for the same reasons you do. I trust James. Of course, looking forward to. It's on the nose. It's not gonna be Batman. It's the Green Lantern. That's the one I'm looking forward.
I am looking forward to that
because of the fact that it's Jon Stewart and it's a detective type story. That intrigues me a lot. But like you said, I'm definitely interested in how they're gonna do this Superman story because it looks like it's really focusing on the version of Clark and Superman that's like that Christopher Reeves version and the comic book version to where like people walk up to him and kids and stuff and they hug them and the people, it's like you can touch them. So it's that version of Superman. It's like the version that everybody loves, and it's not so much as like they fear him in a way. So that'll be interesting to see because I really think they're gonna go like more of the Christopher Reeves, but with a little pinch of Henry Cavill in there.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. But I can say this: I'm actually excited for the first time in a long. I haven't been excited like this since probably the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm definitely glad that Matt Reeves gets to do his thing with the Batman movies.
Great.
Because I actually Robert Pattinson is Batman.
Robert Pattinson is amazing as Batman.
Yeah, and I think other than the Cape Crusader, those are the two best detective Batmans. Like as far as getting to see him like be an actual detective. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I can't wait. Next year, we'll probably be on here, Lord willing, talking about the first Superman movie, doing a review. So that
look out for
crazy.
that.
It's crazy because it'll be here before you know it. Like we're saying it now, and next thing is, hey guys, this is Square Round Table. Here's your review for Superman.
Right, exactly. We're gonna be talking about it before it gets here. That's gonna be that Superman movie. That Superman movie got a lot of pressure behind it. That thing
does. It's the anchor.
If that don't hit off, man, the universe is not gonna
hurt. It's gonna hurt. Fingers crossed. That'll be the first one to come out the gates.
Yeah.
And I know James Gunn because he worked with Marvel. Don't be surprised if you see like a lot of people who worked on Marvel films come over and work with him. because they say a lot of people to work with him. So
we're gonna
just
see.
keep an eye out for that.
He's gonna cast his brother in something.
Oh, he already in
He's in Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah, that
As a
Suicide show, and I think he's in. I want to say he's in the Superman movie. He
he's
playing
already
somebody.
casted?
Yeah, he playing somebody in the Superman movie.
I know he played Weasel, and I think he played Calendar Man in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he gonna look out for his brother.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Which people be hating, but if I was famous, I'd put my friends in my movies too.
Yeah, exactly. Like hey, don't act like you wouldn't.
Exactly. That being said, D, if you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else. You know what time it is.
Yeah, I do. Do it for us, man. Do it for us.
I'm gonna do it in my. Since we talked about it, my Christian Bale Batman.
Get it.
It's time for a Seamus Promotional. Seamus Promotional. Nah,
swear to me.
Swear to me. Seamus. Dmitri, swear to me. Seamus Promotional. It's not who you are on the podcast, but the Seamus Promotional that you give us.
That's amazing.
Take it away, D.
This has been the Square Roundtable Podcast. You can follow us on YouTube. Our social medias are Instagram, our Twitter, and now a Discord. So check us out on the Discord. Come in there, join us. We're going to be talking about all kind of things, whether it's comic books, anime, or anything in between. Hit the like button underneath the video. We know that you like the video. Comment on anything here. How are you feeling about the Gunverse? Do you agree with our least favorite movies in the Snyderverse? Hit the notification bell on the right side of the video so you get notified of this video and future videos. Follow us on Fandom Limb, SquareRoundtable.com, SquareRoundtable.fandomlimb.com. All right, I got to get that right. SquareRoundtable.fandomlimb.com. And also follow us on Rap Nerd on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If there's you have anything else to say, Marcus, before we close this out?
Just one more thing. I just gotta say something. I know somebody who don't know us, who's excited about the universe. If she ever happens to come across this video, you put them comments down there and talk to us. Miss Frankie.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we know you are a big supporter of DC. So if this video crosses your path, come talk to us.
Show us some love.
Show us some love. But other than that, man, send us home.
This has been the Square Roundtable Podcast. I'm your host, Dmitri.
I'm your host, Marcus.
And we are out. Peace. Deuces.
Deuces.
There you go.